Inception team. Thank you for contracting us to analyze your organization. Let us enter the dream world because, as you know, the time moves more slowly in the dream world. Our team, Kaval, Steven, Kalen, and I'm Shweta, and we have some analysis that we came up with. So, let's dream. We analyzed our client's organizational effectiveness, and our team identified the following topics: leadership, power, and conflict. Our overall rating for this organizational effectiveness is 4.5 out of 5. My team will further explain in detail
what I had to do to get back to my children.
So you led us into a war zone with no way out?
There is a way out. All right, we continue on with the job, and we do it as fast as possible, and we get out using the kick, just like before.
Forget it. If we go any deeper, we just raise the stakes. I am sitting this one out on this level, boys.
Fisher security is surrounding this place as we speak. 10 hours of flight time is a week at this level. That means each and every one of us will be killed. That I can guarantee you. We have no other choice but to continue on and do it as fast as possible. Downwards is the only way forwards. Get ready. You, come on. Let's go shake them up.
So what you guys just saw was a conflict between Cobb and Eames. In organizational behavior, conflict is defined as a process that begins when one party perceives that another party is negatively affected or is about to negatively affect something that the first party cares about. In this example, Eames perceives that Cobb has negatively affected two things that he cares about: his life and his share of the mission payout. Organizational behavior differentiates between two types of conflicts based on the effects: functional conflict and dysfunctional conflict. This scene falls under functional conflict, which supports the goals of the group, improves the performance, and is therefore a constructive form of conflict. This is because of three main criterion. Firstly, the level of conflict is optimal. Some conflict exists and yet is not chaotic and uncooperative. Secondly, the group comes up with a viable and self-critical plan of action in this conflict. They reflect on the mess they are in, and they realize that the best move is to continue the mission. Downward is the only ways forward, as Cobb says. Lastly, the overall performance of the unit has increased because the group has realized that failure or quitting only means certain death. Therefore, the group becomes more committed and motivated to perform their mission. Now, let's take a look at how our characters handle the conflict using the dual concern theory. In OB, dual concern theory describes people's conflict management strategies. Dual concern theory considers how one's degree of cooperativeness and assertiveness determine how a conflict is handled. There are 5 strategies described in this theory: forcing, problem solving, avoiding, yielding, and compromising. Cobb deploys the strategy forcing, which is defined as satisfying one's own interest without concern for the other's interest. Cobb forces the other party, Eames, to comply with his wishes and persuasive arguments while making positive commitments. This strategy is high on the assertiveness scale and low on the cooperativeness scale. Cobb's use of a forcing strategy is a reflection of his sole interest of reuniting with his children. He does not care about the relationship or seek to maintain the relationship. Cobb's counterpart, Eames, on the other hand, uses the strategy yielding, which happens only when one party places the other's interest above one's own. Although Eames' interest lies with money and self-preservation, he accepts and incorporates the will of the other party, which is a carry-on of the mission. This strategy is low on the assertiveness scale and high on the cooperativeness scale. Eames' use of a yielding strategy is evidence that he cares about the relationship and is an action taken to maintain that relationship. Therefore, our rating for this organization's use of conflict management is 4 out of 5.
You feel that? You've actually been trained for this, Mr. Fisher. Pay attention to the strangeness of the weather, the shift in gravity. None of this is real. You're in a dream. Now, the easiest way for you to test yourself is to try and remember how you arrived at this hotel. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Breathe, remember your training. Accept the fact that you're in a dream and I'm here to protect you. Go on.
You're not real.
No. I'm a projection of your subconscious. I was sent here to protect you in the event that extractors tried to pull you into a dream. And I believe that's what's going on right now, Mr. Fisher.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can you get me out here?
Right away. Follow me. These men were sent here to abduct you, all right?
In this scene, charismatic leadership theory is highly relevant. Charismatic leadership theory states that followers make attributions of heroic and extraordinary leadership abilities when they observe certain behaviors. There are 4 key characteristics of charismatic leaders, which are vision and articulation, personal risk, sensitivity to followers' needs, and unconventional behavior. So in this scene, Cobb has proven to be a charismatic leader as he revealed his vision and articulation that he foresaw that Fisher would be in danger. Cobb's use of language and terms work effectively to comfort and calm the man down. For example, "Can do that, breathe, I'm here to protect you." Secondly, he had personal risk. He tried to protect Fisher even if he would be in danger as well. There is a sign of self-sacrifice from the charismatic leader in this case. Thirdly, Cobb had sensitivity to followers' needs. When approaching Fisher, Cobb already knew that he was feeling unsafe and he needed security right at that moment. Last but not least, unconventional behavior. Cobb shot the 2 guys, following them to protect the man without hesitation and taking Fisher back. Now let's talk about how a charismatic leader influences others. They build followers' self-esteem and confidence with high performance expectations and the belief that the followers can attain them. Secondly, through words and actions, the leader conveys a new set of values and sets example for followers to imitate. Finally, they engage in emotion-inducing and often unconventional behavior to demonstrate courage and convictions about the vision. So in this case, Cobb influenced the man significantly. He made Fisher feel more secure, calm him down, and reduce his fight in the moment. Specifically, Cobb persuaded him that it would not be a wrong choice if Fisher followed what Cobb said, since he would be well protected and set free from relentless pursuit. Fisher really gained confidence and believed that he could be saved. As you can see here, a kind of trust from the man was set by Cobb. When Cobb sensed that the danger was around them, he decisively told the man, "Follow me," the use of language, guiding him his actions so that they can together escape from the 2 agents. Cobb holds Fisher's hand and action to make sure that he was right beside him, safe and all in the same boat. Finally, Cobb is so sensitive that he understood that in that particular situation, solitude resulted in a man's sense of insecurity and fear. Therefore, he tried to reinforce a position in Fisher's mind, a sign that emotion-inducing strategy is the leader who can save him from threats. Synergy and incorporation were created to make sure that none of them had to struggle with difficulties alone, especially the man. One example is when he shot the 2 agents to protect the man against the unconventional behavior. It didn't take Cobb much time to do that, since at that moment his priority was to ensure Fisher's security. Again, Cobb gained the man's trust in him. So according to our analysis of this scene, our rating for this organization skills of charismatic leadership theory is 5 out of 5.
Can you do it?
Are you offering me a choice? Because I can find my own way to square things with Cole.
Then you do have a choice.
And I choose to leave, sir.
Tell the crew where you want to go. Hey, Mr. Cobb! How would you like to go home? To America? To your children?
Can't fix that. No one can.
Just like Inception.
Cop, come on.
So what you guys just saw was a power and dependence in play. In organizational behavior, power refers to the capacity that A has to influence the behavior of B, so that B acts in accordance with A's wishes. In this scene, this refers to the capacity of Saito to influence the behavior of Cobb in accordance with his wishes. In organizational behavior, dependence is defined as B's relationship to A when A possesses something that B requires. The greater B dependency on A, the greater the power A has over B. In this case, we will be taking a closer look at how dependence is evident in the relationship between Saito and Cobb. So what creates dependency? There are three key factors which create dependency. Firstly, importance. The thing you control must be perceived as important. Saito controls Cobb's access to America and, as an extension, access to his children. We know that this resource is invaluable to Cobb because of repeated flashbacks of his children demonstrating how important they truly are to Cobb. Secondly, scarcity. A resource must be perceived as scarce to create dependence. Cobb's children Philippa and James are a finite resource. There can only be one of them even if he wanted more of them. Its need exceeds demands and therefore his two kids are scarce. Lastly, non-substitutability. The fewer substitutes there are for a resource, the more power the person controlling that resource has. No substitute exists for both America and his children. Therefore, Saito wields tremendous power over Cobb. Organizational behavior separates power into 5 distinctive bases. These bases are perceived power, reward power, legitimate power, expert power, and referent power. At first glance, it may appear that perceived power is at play, which is defined as a power base that is dependent on fear of the negative results from failing to comply. In this scene, Saito tells Cobb he wants him to perform Inception and asks if Cobb can do it. Cobb questions if he is being offered a choice or he is forcing him to do it. Then you do have a choice, replies Saito. Cobb initially declines his offer and prepares to leave. Saito then proposes that he can return Cobb to America and see his children if he performs Inception for Saito. Therefore, the opposite of perceived power, reward power, is the most relevant in this scene. Reward power is defined as power that achieves compliance based on the ability to distribute reward that others view as valuable. In this scene, Saito achieves compliance with Cobb because of his ability to distribute reward that Cobb views as valuable, a chance to go back to his country and to see his kids. Therefore, our rating for this organization's use of power is 4.5 out of 5.